Good morning to all. My name is Rubul. Today I'm going to present my presentation on the topic job interview. The general purpose of this presentation is to talk about job interview and what are the process of preparing for job interview, and the specific purpose for this presentation is to describe mainly what kind of mistakes or usually what kind of mistakes we make during our job interview and how to overcome these situations. Okay, so let's start with our presentation. Job interview. It's a great saying that job interviews are scary even when you're prepared thoroughly. We can say that, we all perceive that jobs interviews are really very, dramatic kind of things. But if we are well prepared with our job interviews, we can easily crack through them. There is no such thing like, easygoing. It's a easygoing process. All you just need to be is confident and to prepare for it. And let me ask you one question: why one need to have an interview strategies? Okay, let me explain. If we prepare for something that we are going to perform or deliver something, we need to prepare or have some strategies. What are beginning as take an example of the report writing. You need to prepare what your introduction would be, what your body would be, and what your conclusion would be. So here during you're preparing for interview strategies, you have to prepare what your strengths are, what strengths you want to tell to your employer, and what weaknesses you have, and you can improve on that. So these are the things. And most important point, this picture is very powerful. It tells what interview strategies can do. It helps. Practice makes man perfect. That what says, practice makes perfect. That's what it is. If you practice it and have interview strategies, you are easily going to make through job interviews. Now we shift to the next slide. So the next slide talks about the details one should think about before going to an interview, because these are really important. First, we shift our attention towards the picture. See the picture of a man. He's well dressed, and these are the points that are mentioned in the picture that one needs to be taken care of before going to an interview. See, it's mentioned that trim haired, clean shaved, warm smile. Warm smile, that's that's pretty important. If you are having a warm smile, that feels like welcoming. The interviewer feels like that you are welcoming him. If you are bit like stressed, it's gonna create a hectic atmosphere. So feel of confidence. Feel that with the body language you can tell that you are confident. Formal dress or attire is very important. Firm handshake, correct body posture. These all key points I'm going to discuss about in these slides. So dress appropriately. So as I mentioned, according to this picture and according to my idea, because I've taken 20 interviews, and out of 19 I've been successful, and one I didn't got a offer letter because of these issues. I wasn't well prepared and didn't had such interview strategies. After preparing that, I had gone through every interview. So what I found is I have taken down in this presentation the dress appropriately. See, if you are not dressed appropriately, it will create a negative point against you. So it will, you will minimize the chances of getting selected in an interview. So for what my suggestion for the girl going to an interview would be, try to wear some formal pants and and shirt. That would be a good for her. And for boys, what would I recommend? That try to wear some professional suit. So that would be a good with a tie. That works best for for dress. That's the best thing one should wear during an interview. And educate yourself on diner issues, because most of us are from different nationalities. We have different style of eating things, or we have different traditional stuff that we eat. So it's never hard and fast rule that your interview will be taking place only in the office. What if your interview may take place during the lunch or dinner time, and your interview is fully done there. So you must have etiquettes of diner etiquettes, as you must know. There is very important that you must know what food to order and what not to order. See, if you order suppose noodles, it's bit of, it doesn't seems that it makes you informal. It makes you look informal, because when you eat them they hang around. You can't properly utilize them to eat, you know. So don't never order noodles. Order those foodstuffs that are utensil friendly, yeah. And be prepared. One must prepare yourself before going, you must prepare yourself. What should I do, what should not to be done, that sort of stuff. And what to bring to interview, the things that one should keep in mind before coming to an interview. What they need to bring with them is, resumes, 2 or 3 resumes. You never know how much resume the company may require. And always bring a notepad and a pencil or pen to write on that piece of paper. It's always important to take notes during an interview. If you take notes during an interview, you'll be doing 2 things at a time. You'll be creating a positive attitude towards interviewer, and you'll be noting down the points, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, and what points the interviewer admire you about, so that you can use that points in your another interview, so that you can improve more. It's a improving process. We can improve ourselves by taking notes. How to get there, it's also very important. One must take a time before the day of an interview, or before what the actual thing is. You must go before at that particular time of the day when your interview is, before the day of an interview, to the place by the means you want to go, so that you may be well aware how much time does it take, and what route to follow, and if you're going by public transport, what public transport to follow. So these things need to be taken care of, so that you may reach on time. So we move to the next slide. So the next slide talks about what are we always take interviews and everything goes well. The technical things always goes well, and we always wonder why we didn't got selected during an interview. What went wrong? See, now I'll be discussing about some of the things or stuffs that we do wrong while interview. The accent, that matters a lot. These according to the definition of this person, the accent is a distinctive way of speaking associated with a particular group of people, typically based on differences in phonology or intonation across geographical region or social groups. See, this is the definition of accent. See, it is very important. Their effects during a job interview. There are 2 factors that affects the job interview. See, if you have a accent that if you have the local accent, that will benefit you a lot, because you will be knowing, you'll be in a group, you'll be favorite in a group, and you will be understandable. If the interviewer doesn't understand your accent, he won't be able to know what you are talking about and what the knowledge you have. So it will create a bad impression, and you won't be able to give your full performance to him, because he's not understanding you. So accent matters a lot. And sometimes the cultural differences also matters, that sometimes plays a negative role, because there is something that sometimes we wear some cultural things, and the other person can easily judge that from which community or the culture or the society we belongs. So not to my recommendation is not to wear them. And the last thing I would talk about is the 10 interview bloppers. The 10 interview bloppers, these are the things that we usually make mistakes, and we should stop avoiding those mistakes, so that we can maximize our chances of getting selected in an interview. These are the 10 things we unknowingly do. We never know that how we do these things when we do these things. So keep a proper check while in your interview, so that you can reduce the chances of being cancelled, or being minimize the chances of getting rejected. So poor handshake, don't talk too much, handshake well, so that you may feel like confident. Don't show up late, never show up late, and don't come too early. Treat the receptionist very kindly. Ask about benefits. That never ask about salary until and unless they ask you about. Never ask a question about the salary in an interview. That's it. So according to me, that these are the points one should take care of. And the last conclusion is you are hired. If you follow these above steps that I mentioned in during the presentation, then all will go well, and you'll always learn that you are hired. So my suggestion to you is always consider the steps that I follow and think about what's critical and what's required. Always learn about the organization. That's important. And best of luck with your interviews. Good night.